Sunday morning cartoons are back, and we have a bit of a weird episode to celebrate. We're still making our way through Season 1 of Transformers G1, and one day perhaps I'll finally be able to free to talk about a different show before we move on to the behemoth that is Season 2. This episode was written by Douglas Booth, who also wrote that episode about the antimatter something or other back in SMC 3. He has a handful of G1 episodes to his name, and let's just say he seems to have a trend of writing some of the more interesting episodes. Well, let's see how weird this one gets. Season 1, Episode 9, Fire on the Mountain. Down at the local industrial steel mill, the Decepticons Starscream and Thundercracker fly in to acquire some metal through completely legal and legitimate means. The idiot Thundercracker points out to the genius scientist Starscream that the steel beams are obvious Chinese knockoffs, yet Starscream, being the smart one, believes that steel is steel. Two Autobots pop in coincidentally to bust the steel deal, and so bad puns ensue.
Looks more like stealing to me, and I'm talking steel!
Starscream deploys his nipple rockets, allowing the cons to jam the stolen steel inside their jet modes and escape. The Autobots return to base, and everyone's puzzled over why the Decepticons would need steel beams. You never know what they might do with some big metal sticks. In order to be prepared, they deploy a satellite to keep a lookout because nothing escapes the all-seeing eye of Big Brother. Turns out that Megatron and the Decepticons are following an ancient Incan legend in Peru, leading them to a crystal of power that channels the energy from a direct path to the Earth's core. So yeah, in case you didn't notice, this is where the episode starts to get a little weird. Luckily, no archaeologist has found this very easily accessible crystal, and so the Decepticons place it into a cannon frame made from the stolen steel beams. In a strong message against the government surveillance state, they use this cannon to snipe the Autobot satellite out of orbit, creating a pretty fireworks display. The Peruvian people first assume that the ancient gods have returned to punish them, which really would have made this episode weird, but instead this girl points out that someone probably just found the weapon of mass destruction they keep in their backyard. The blast renders the cannon frame useless because of the crappy metal, and Megatron chastises Starscream for not buying American-made steel. Starscream throws Thundercracker under the bus, and so Megatron throws Thundercracker off the pyramid. Megatron and the others go to find some replacement parts, leaving Skywarp to babysit the two idiots who couldn't buy the right metal. Next, we head to the Arctic, where Wheeljack and Sideswipe are getting around to finally recovering Skyfire, aka Jetfire, from his crash back in Episode 7. He seems fine despite everything that happened to him, and the Autobots put him to work literally right away.
Thank you for saving me, friends. I am forever grateful.
Yeah, the only reason we saved you is because we needed someone who could fly. Could have done it last episode, but we didn't. You're just a tool for our war machine, nothing more.
Skyfire obeys and goes to pick up Autobots Brawn and Windcharger so they can be dropped literally on top of the Decepticons going to get more steel. After sending them off to fight outnumbered against some of the Decepticons' best warriors, Skyfire is ordered to check out the Pyramid Temple instead of helping out. The two bots almost immediately find themselves outmatched and on the run as the fighting starts, making you wonder what they even really hope to accomplish with this stunt. Windcharger is being chased down by Laserbeak, while Brawn's being hunted down by the Megatron hand cannon. This little pursuit ends with Windcharger ramming into Brawn, flying him off a cliff, and getting picked up mid-air by Skyfire. So long story short, that entire action sequence was pointless from the start. Anyways, the bots head back to their base and load a small army into Skyfire, then fly back to Peru right away. I feel like we could have skipped a few steps here and made that a lot simpler. After all that, Skyfire is still sent off on his own to the temple to investigate. Over at the local Peruvian steel mill, Megatron and his gang are stealing more steel. We know already that Megatron is a big proponent of buying American, but Peru is in South America, so by the laws of technicality it still counts. Optimus Prime and the other bots show up and everyone starts blasting in a big old-fashioned firefight. During the battle, a big electrical tower gets knocked over and almost crushes the local girl from earlier, who I guess just spends her spare time hanging around the local industrial centers. Spike and Bumblebee swoop in to save her and learn that she has information vital to the plot. How lucky for them. As she leads those two towards the Crystal of Power, the battle continues. In the middle of tanking shots to the face, Megatron calls Skywarp over to come grab the new steel beams, leaving Starscream and Thundercracker to guard the crystal. Starscream is pissed about this, and Skywarp taunts his superior officer, demonstrating the gross lack of professionalism in the Decepticon armed forces. During the bickering, Peruvian lady shows Spike and B a secret entrance into the temple. Soundwave, I guess, was watching them sneak in, even though I thought he was at the steel mill. I don't know, the continuity is a bit screwy here, but anyway, he sends Ravage into the temple after them. Atop the temple, Skyfire gets caught by Thundercracker, but Thundercracker knows that if he kills him, Starscream will take the credit, while if he blows up the weapon, then Starscream will get blamed. A flawless plan, except for the fact that Starscream walks in on them cheating on him. He blasts Skyfire in the chest for the second time in the series, third if you count my Siege video, and now the notorious traitor Starscream blackmails Thundercracker into doing what he says or he'll tattle on him for being a traitor. Back at the steel mill, Skywarp arrives and helps carry the metal out of there, and Megatron causes a landslide headed for the local village to keep the Autobots busy. How much money you want to bet they easily stop it? Well, they do, because apparently you can shoot your way out of pretty much any problem. Inside the temple, our human duo and Bumblebee are traveling through the secret passageway, which I guess can fit an entire car and then some. The Decepticons dump an unconscious Skyfire into the crystal room for safekeeping, which turns out not to be safe, because the second they leave, B and the others come through a secret hidden automatic door. Man, it must suck to be Megatron when your enemies get insanely lucky on a routine basis. Spike gets to repairing Skyfire when Ravage finally catches up. As a fight between him and Bumblebee breaks out, we cut back to see what Megatron's up to. He's standing on top of the pyramid with his brand new super cannon, which he uses to unleash a fully automatic hail of fire on the Autobots who just showed up. In this battle, the cannon proved to be not nearly as effective as before, because I guess it got nerfed pretty hard in the new update. Meanwhile, Bee's losing his fight to Ravage when Spike finally gets Skyfire back online. He quickly beats up the cute kitty, then flies out to join the battle. The Autobots advance from two sides up against the cannon and manage to wrestle it from the cons up top. Megatron temporarily gets control of the cannon back just in time for Skyfire to blow it up, which is exactly how it feels to be me in any online game. Optimus chucks Megatron down the pyramid, and the Decepticons realize it is retreat o'clock and they flee once again. After all the action, we have one last scene they try and make seem dramatic where the bots use one of Wheeljack's inventions to contain the energy that's apparently been pouring out of the temple now that the crystal isn't there to stop it. The invention is literally just a metal lid, but it works just fine to contain the raw power of the Earth's core. To celebrate, all the Autobots down below line up around the pyramid and shine their lights up the side because it looks cool, I guess? I don't know. Bumblebee takes Spike and the local girl back to town, and while I know you're likely expecting her and Spike to get together, the actual love interest of this episode turns out to be the girl's family car and Bumblebee. This car never shows up in later episodes, however, so I guess the first date went horribly.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
There's no way a midget like you can handle the mighty orangutan. Ouch!
We now return to the Transformers.
And that concludes the episode. Not as weird as some of the other stuff Douglas Booth wrote for the show, but when I think of Transformers, ancient Peruvian legends about a crystal of power that lead to the Earth's core is not something that comes to mind. As usual, I could make an entire video about the inconsistencies and illogical parts of this plot, but hey, it's fun. Trying to apply logic and consistency to the G1 show is a task that would drive most men mad, so for now let's just agree not to think about all this too hard. Thank you all for watching, and thank you to all my subscribers for 200 subs. I really appreciate all the people who were subscribing while I was away for a long time, because seeing new people subscribe to me even while I wasn't putting out content really helped motivate me to get back on track. I want to keep SMC consistent again, however, like I mentioned, I am looking to update my style a little bit, which means updating this avatar. That means taking some time to redo and create some more images like these, so don't worry if I miss a week, it's probably because I'm working on that instead. Anyway, I won't keep you all too long. Thank you all again, and have a great day.